stream quality is healthy.
This is a...
No, it's red.
Like you can't over there. Wait, let's check.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Or maybe it's the last tab or something.
It's not connected here, maybe? Yeah. So
Like it. No, it's like.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And of course the first year class reps who have been personally invested to help out.
I think so, yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, since the general elections are coming up, we decided to host an election hosting where parents can send candidates to come and speak. Because you know, students are just so interested in politics. Well, G&D students at least. Because it gives them an added sense of importance. People like Stephen Barr can say, I want to screw over the poor people.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Person would listen to him or agree with him. In the GMB, he can change it to, I believe in the Tories' economic policy. Others not along in agreement.
Yeah.
So yeah, the hostings.
Preach.
We invited all the main parties to attend, you know, the ones people actually care about. So unfortunately, Direct Democracy Ireland, we're left outside, tapping on the window, in the rain, begging to be let in. Much like that time my girlfriend said she wanted a threesome.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
she's right there.
Does she know?
Yeah, I think so.
We did invite Peter Paul. We invited Peter Paul, and they said they'd send someone. When it got to 7:30, and there was no sign of them, we decided to show activities. Now, when it got to 7:30 and there was no sign of them, we rang up the candidate they were supposed to send.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Much like back when Fianna Fáil were in government, everyone thought John was the one in charge of the banks. But John thought Peter was the one in charge of the banks. I was in charge of the banks. And the whole time it turns out John and Peter were just sipping margaritas on a beach in the Bahamas. Also, Sinn Féin didn't send anyone, so they weren't really there. But I think that's in the same sense, they weren't really there during the Troubles. But they were. My name is Connor Rock. The debate itself wasn't a beacon of rhetoric that had come to affect political debates, having watched all of the American Republican debates. Not quite on that level. In fact, at times Lucinda Creighton and Alex White seem less like our country's leading less like our country's politicians, and more like a brother and sister squabbling over who could use the remote next.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
For Trinity News about the debate, and they agreed at first until they found out I was both the secretary of the HIST and chair of the Social Democrats, and they weren't too keen on it. Although, to be fair, it would have been more biased than most TN articles. I actually had my first canvasser to the door the other day from the political party. It was from Fine Gael, and he started saying just about how he wanted to lower taxes for everyone. And I said,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
well, like, what do you mean by rich? And at that point I stopped paying attention, so I was just so happy with myself for asking questions. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned.
Are there any objections to assigning these minutes to the true and accurate account of the last public business meeting?
Just as a thing for the record about Stephen Barr
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Our socialism could never work. I just feel like that's something we
I thought it was just called right-wing hist.
Because like TN is the worst version of the Guardian, so his paper was called the Conservative, compared to the rest of the rags in Trinity, and that's not what's funny. Don't join it, okay?
Any more? Okay. Anyone else want to complain about Steve? But I don't care.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Then I shall duly sign the done. I should now like to call upon the auditor to introduce the invited guest to us.
That's us.
Invite guests to stroll all the way out from Belfield from UCD. We're going to be Adam Donnelly, Shane Kelly, Katie Rooney, and Kevin Roach, as well as our chair, Peter Flanagan. I'm also actually going to take this moment to introduce our debating bingo. Some of you have it on there, but I'm going to do a quick call out for
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
a lot more alcohol than we're on the table. So, our quick
don't drink it,
bingo is
drink everywhere, I'm not a
POI, POI is a point of information. Go to the running orders and kind of give a point of information, anyone can, which will be after the first minute of debate, but before the end of the fourth minute. So guys, you stand up and shout literally what you want after you set point of information. Trinity wankers, Nando's, flaming developers.
You've even got a shot glass.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, no, I know.
Wait, what are the words? Are you kidding me?
I've already seen all of them. They're all in my speech.
Did I not just say them? I want to do that on purpose. Imagine that.
Quite well, let's start the actual debate.
The question before the House this evening is that this House will eat, sleep, rave, repeat. I should now like to call upon Catherine.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Proceed to go.
If that's about me, I'll be angry.
Lads.
That's me and that.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Okay. So wait, let's start. So okay, eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Okay, let's start this off. I want to point out that the LNH crashed our committee room to have a rave, so they don't really have like a leg to stand on and off, but like that's fine. But also I'm pointing out that of course there are not, because Kevin Roach's idea of a rave is like gathering everyone around and singing rebel tunes, okay? The word on the street is that Mark Houghton at Euros was woken up at 6 a.m. by a Rowan Naveen coming from the beer garden. Like Katie's idea of good times, down in Hagen and getting sick and then going home. But like, I mean, like, she didn't make it to the Earl Street Social, but I mean, eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Okay, so specifically eating, obviously really good. Like it's almost a perfect activity. Like you actually need it to survive, so you want to continue doing that. Also, like it's a perfect antidote to any kind of emotions that you have. Okay. Sleeping, obviously good, except when you have really, really spooky, scary dreams, which happens. Kate doesn't appreciate when you wake her up at 5 a.m. telling her about your scary, spooky dreams. She does not have any kind of sympathy for you. I've tried it, don't try it.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
But like onto like rave, because that's like the content of my speech. That was just kind of anecdotal. Like first I want to tell you some experiences when I like wasn't like drinking and I wasn't raving, and how like it made them really, really bad. Okay. So first of all, okay, National Maidens. I am a fresher, like a year younger than I am now, in fact. I was really, really sick, but I decided to go anyway. I was on antibiotics, so I was one of the only few people who wasn't drinking. Michael Coleman stops me from breaking at that competition because Katie and I got higher on
This is a
than him at least.
demonstration of
So he's really, really
Wirecast.
bitter, but he's also really, really drunk. And we lost him, and he passed out on the floor of the bathroom in the nightclub that we were at. We take him back to the hospital. Everyone else is too drunk to take care of him. Sam Brown is doing like Australian accents and throat singing, and nobody knows what's going on. So I say, "Okay, Michael, it's fine. Sit down. Like it's fine. You can just sit on my bed." And he thanks me by promptly getting sick red wine everywhere. Stephen James Barr, antidote to this, is to get like the sick covered blankets and put them onto a clean bed, and get the clean
This
blankets
is
and
a
put them onto the sick covered
demonstration
bed.
of Wirecast.
Bizarre reason, okay? And like all of this could have been avoided if I was as drunk as anyone else, because I would have had a bed to sleep in that night, okay? Although Katie does have sober me to thank for her current relationship, so that was good. Okay. Now, okay. Things that like were made better because I was drunk, okay? First of all, Leeds. That competition was really, really bad. They gave us alcohol after round 3 and told us we had to finish it before the end of round 5, okay? So Katie gets really drunk and she's speaking
This
Prime
is a
Minister, the first
demonstration
speech.
of Wirecast.
But this is like, she is really drunk and she says to me in prep time, okay, so can I say that he's a Republican? And I go, I guess you could if you can really, really prove it. She's like, yeah, okay. She gets up and she's like, he's a Republican. He preaches family values. We have facts. We know this. Stephen James Barr again gets up.
Come on in!
I'm sure he's going to want to be here in a minute.
If you say his name 3 times, he appears.
He gets up with a picture of a literal squirrel,
This
which is
is
the
a
debating term,
demonstration of
when he basically fucked
Wirecast.
over the entire debate. So that was really good. Didn't help when Ronan kept giving Katie cans. Also, like, so it was better. Like, suddenly being at Charlie's at 4 a.m. with Ciara Walsh asking everyone and recording it if they are aggressively attracted to her doesn't become as grim as it could be. So that obviously benefited that. Obviously, English competitions in general, like I've already mentioned Leeds. Worlds, like at least now there are some periods that I don't remember. So that's really good. But like what's most
This
important...
is a demonstration
yes,
of
Ollie.
Wirecast.
Many Reeves that aren't debating competitions.
Ollie, you know the answer to that. I'm not getting into it. It's fine. Okay, so like, what's most important, right, is that you get good stories from these nights, okay? Ones that are passed down year after year, okay? Like the one where Stephen at the Galway Open was vomiting repeatedly into pint glasses. into pint glasses, I know! This is the point, Donovan.
This is a demonstration
into pint
of
glasses then
Wirecast.
hidden under the table, okay? Or the one where Stephen at Worlds ate a pamphlet. Like, and he had a method by doing this by soaking it first so it was easier to chew, okay? Or the time where Stephen, again at Worlds, was too drunk to post the break and decided instead to say, here we fucking get-go. No, thank you. You are out of time, sir. Or the time coming back from the Galway Open when I was incredibly hungover, realised we were on a moving bus and I'm about to get sick. I run to the bathroom, get sick in the toilet, think my life is never going to be more grim until I see Claire O'Neill getting sick chocolate milk into a Cuisine de France bag. And Stephen James Barr hands her a bottle. And we're like, what do you want us to do with it? All of these things incredibly worth it because I got like 5 minutes out of it, so that's good. But what's most crucial is the repeating, okay? Because after everything I've told you, like, why wouldn't you want to have these experiences again and again and again? Thank you.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Do I just go?
Yeah,
I guess I just kind of go.
do you want a timer?
Apologies. I welcome Shane Kelly.
Hey, first off, on behalf of the LNH, I'd just like to thank the HIST for inviting us to take part in this Rag Week event. Not gonna lie, we were a bit perplexed when we saw this motion come from the HIST. We kind of thought your guys' speed was more going to eat, sleep, be offended on behalf of a minority group that you're probably not even part of. Repeat. But hey, like, it's actually, the motion is quite similar to my approach to exams, which is obviously eat through my emotions, cry self to sleep, fail miserably, and then repeat. Obviously, with the nature of these debates, like, our team are going to slip into some, like, pretty lazy Trinity stereotypes, like, and obviously you're not all like that, so I apologise to, like, that 99% of Trinity students ruin it on the rest of you guys. So like, I think this event fits nicely into your Rag Week schedule, like right in between like the tea morning, the Rose Trinity contest, and like this exhilarating bingo and sponsored silence that's going on. So thanks a lot for like letting my 90-year-old granny help organise your Rag Week. Like, I got her out of the house for a week, which was great. It's a bit more refined than our Rag Week, which is next week, first time in 6 years. So we're bringing back classic UC events like book burnings. We have our costume day where people are going to be sponsored to dress up. They're going to have to actually wear jeans to college. It's going to be deadly. Our house debate has actually been postponed next week because we're having a panel discussion on what the D in our crest stands for. And then we were also planning on kidnapping a beautiful maiden from Trinity to sacrifice to appease the GAA gods, but there were supply issues. So no, I'd like to say that I was going to say that you guys are generally as dull as watching paint dry, but I now think that's harsh on the paint because it is at least sometimes wet. So, I tried to come up with some other song titles that would better sum up the Hist as an organisation. So, Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Your parents' expectations, your chances of successful relationships, career prospects. When you realise the only thing a degree in TSM in early Irish and art history is going to get you is a guest list to the Dole office. So, If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher, obviously, to the day that you filled out the CAO. Let's see, this one I had to change them slightly, but it's probably the most practical. Drop Out Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg. 500 miles by the Proclaimers, because if you walk 500 miles and then you walk 500 more, you will hopefully be 1,000 miles further away from UCD, which would be great. Finally, Love Yourself by Bieber, because your parents probably don't anymore. So on to the practicalities of Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat. Firstly, just look at the order of activities. You're going straight from sleep to rave, and you're skipping breakfast, which, as we know, is the most important meal of the day. And that's just a recipe for subpar raving. So on pure logistics, we actually win this debate, if this was actually a debate. No thanks. So we know the risk, if you're going to be raving every day, you're probably going to have to drop quite a bit. And we all know the risks you take in that. 1 minute, you're raving away, having a great time. The next minute, you're at the counter in Burger King, explaining to the cashier how, yes, there were planes, but there were never any towers. Let's be honest, you guys here in Trinity, you're just not ready for Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat. If Trinity was a person, Trinity, you're just too old-fashioned. You still leave voicemails, you're still on MySpace, and you're still catching up on the latest episodes of Pimp My Ride. Yeah?
On that point, we've had many This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Debate on drugs. I'm pretty sure as a call for pretty context for raving.
Okay, you're actually having a debate. It's not really not really what I came here for. Other differences between UC and Trinity, obviously the art block in Trinity is a toxic grey monument to blandness and mediocrity. And the one in UCD is brown. Sporting prowess, pretty great different thing there. Representing Trinity as a major sport is kind of like being the MVP on a basketball team of you, the Seven Dwarfs, Stevie Wonder, and that guy from
demonstration of Wirecast.
If you guys do unfortunately find yourself out in Belfield someday, don't worry if you find yourself overwhelmed by the cleanly attractive people and our functioning electricity and what else, our employment prospects. So there are places you can take refuge, okay? So seek out the Ag Science building and the Vet building, okay? Because they're the only places on our campus where there are sufficient levels of bullshit to be able to feel at home like you're in the GMB. So I'll finish on this I'll finish on two more points. My favourite hobby of mine, I like to do whenever I feel a bit down, is to look up my old Trinity prospectus when I did the Leaving Cert, and I make myself feel better by imagining the misery of the poor souls who actually have to do some of these courses. Is there anyone in from Jewish and Islamic civilizations? No, they're probably at home, filling out their dole form. Oh, you're here. I thought you'd be busy panicking about your poor life choices. Also, I'd like to say, obviously, Rag Week involves a lot of great charities. Obviously, the Make-A-Wish Foundation will come in and let you guys debate against a proper society, which must be huge for you. Okay, I'm gonna finish in the nature's debate. I'll finish on a song quote. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on our white, middle-class, cisgender, straight upbringing. Okay, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Well done, Shane. I now call
This is a
Oscar
demonstration
Green.
of Wirecast.
Ladies and gentlemen, unlike the speaker from UCD, I know what you all came here to see tonight. You came here to see us make in-jokes and references about people you have never met. Tell stories about people You don't know that we find funny that somehow we think you will find funny. This is not what I intend to do because I've got nothing really here. I think it's a sad state of affairs when we look at this society and how far this society has fallen. Today, UCD sit next to us in shirts while we stand here in t-shirts. Sure, we now let women in and don't treat people badly as we used to, but that is for shame of this society. What do we do now? We hold debates where we show you just how cool we are by standing organized and having a charity event where we debate how good we are at raving. Where we show you by sitting around this table what exactly it means. And these good, fine, upstanding ladies and gentlemen have come here to humor us in our time of need. Ladies and gentlemen, there is still hope that we could be the raving society that we so hope to be. And I hope by the end of this speech, I will have brought about this change. Because the fact is, we have to get back to traditional hist values. We have to get back to those sort of times and those sort of styles where men were men and boys could be boys. For example, I've already been turned down for several of my suggestions this year for our events that we could run, such as our slavery-themed pub night. 12 years of rave. Apparently, the hist is not in for that sort of thing anymore. This society used to be the kind of society where I could take out a face mask of David Cameron and wear it, and no one would question this. Instead, what we have gotten here is a people who are ashamed to show their true selves. So tonight what I do is I bring to you an element of danger. I have a severe cardiac condition, and for some reason our sponsor Red Bull thought it was a good idea to give me caffeine drinks in order to allow me to speak in front of you. Because the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm what one would call an old hack. I'm dying in this place. Time has moved on. I am the grand old age of 23, and this place has begun to take away from me what little spark I used to have in my life. The fact is college is ending for some people. Not all of us can fall back on our good looks and charm. Some of us, like Kevin Rhodes, will fall back on that sort of school shootery look. What you should do whilst you're in college is enjoy it while you can and truly embrace that spirit of eating, sleeping, rave, repeating by completely abandoning all concepts in nature of personal safety. Because this is the true way to fully enjoy Eat, Slave, Rave, Repeat. I could tell you stories of times I got drunk and tried to fight people who were bigger than me and tried to fight women. And that was not a beneficial system to do. Tried to punch freshers. All of this you have to look forward to over the next few years, and I wish you well in that drunken masquerade that we call this thing. But in order to do that, what you should do is you should accept that there are certain things you should change. You should go back to tradition. You should go back to where this place used to stand. And by rave, we should have port. We should have good times, and we should have society. Ladies and gentlemen,
this is a
I'm 23 years
demonstration
old.
of Wirecast.
All the porn stars are now younger than me. I'm having an existential crisis here. There's nothing more to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, I propose.
Well done, Oscar. We now call Katie Rooney.
Of Wirecast.
Thanks for that woo, Catherine, as if they hadn't figured out we were already friends from the 5-minute speech about me. Okay, let me get my timer. And Stephen. Okay, it's great to be back. you know, in the home of discourse. It feels like forever since I've been here. It was Monday. But anyways, I'm back, and like in all seriousness, I've gotten a bit of like a bad reputation in the LNH. You know, a few rumors have been going around. People calling me a traitor. People calling me, you know, a secret histy. That was what was written actually in the magazine about me. So like I'm here to set the record straight tonight and lose all the friends that I have on the hist and show where my loyalties lie with Conor Rock, our leader, and you know that I'm in the society of lads and huns, and that's where I belong. So like first of all, I just want to like ask you, how dare you put us on side op? Like, have you seen how much banter our society is? Like, we're never sober. Have you seen have you seen the pics from Barcelona? It looked mad. I wasn't there. Anyways, like, it's a total insult to our beloved leader, Conor Rock. Like we don't call him Conor 7 Gram Rock for nothing. Like, come on, it's a total disgrace. Like next off, since when? Yeah.
Okay, so I put Ask Conor Rock for weed on the Hiss bingo for Rave, and he didn't sell a single Histy weed. What's up with that?
Like, what's up with that is he was about 18 hours late, so like, we held up the competition by nearly like 2 days at that point. Like, he was a little busy, had other things on his mind, God bless him. Anyways, let's move on to this. Since when are you guys trying to be the Phil? Like, what the fuck, guys? Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. This isn't your territory. This is Phil territory, okay? Catherine, your idea of a good fucking rave is like when both of your cats come to visit you in bed. As you watch Downton Abbey. I'm sorry. Like, you know, like, be true to yourselves. Because, like, if this was a Phil debate, I would have been treated a lot differently. You know, I would have been offered a line of coke at the door just to get me going. And, you know, I probably would have already fucked someone I regretted. Like, you know, it's like, that's just how the Phil rolls. Like, you know, like, I'm sorry, guys, but, like, you know, it's like, move on to, like, be yourselves, hist, okay? And what that is fucking nerds, and that's good. Like, we need people to learn stuff. That's good. Like, embrace it. That's your thing, okay? Nothing gets you off more than a good discussion about ethics in game journalism. Like, that's your thing, okay? Like, maybe having a bit of a discussion about abolishing protected time, edgy, like, you know, like this motion for you should be discourse sleep, discourse repeat. Like, that's your thing, okay? Like, I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to find out every chancellor of the
demonstration of Wirecast.
I'd go bang into Phil Cowan's, no, his no. But if I wanted some NDMA or to find out where the best selfie life is in the GMB, I'd be over to the Phil, like, they'd know. That's the kind of banter. I'll take Meg.
When the LNH decided they wanted to have a rave in the GMB, who exactly did you come to?
Gavin Tucker actually let us in, is what I hear. So, anyways, that's what I hear. I wasn't actually there. I'm just saying, get your facts straight, okay? So, like, as well, I just want to go on to, like, the practicalities of eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Because, like, ours has been well established. You guys are fucking nerds. And you love a good, like, lecture. So, like, is this some kind of authoritarian, like, dictatorship that we're living with? 8 hours of rave, 8 hours of eat, 8 hours of sleep. Like people are just going to be coming out exhausted from their rave. Like, Jesus, I have to eat for 8 hours. Fuck me. Like, I don't even think Adam Noonan would be up for that. Like, when the fuck would he get to the gym? Like, come on. Like, you know, you got to think of these things. Like, you're going to see exhausted his students coming out as their mother rings. Did you get your 8 hours of raving done? No, I swear, Mom, I swear. I heard that you were going to your classes lecture. I just like to learn. You know, like, you know, this isn't what, it's not going to work well for you. Like Catherine pointed out, Julie, you guys can't handle the sesh. Like, maybe I can't either. But Catherine, you at Galway Open made Stephen James Bar on World's Break Night look like a fucking meeting of pioneers. I'm sorry, but like, I'm just saying, you guys can't handle it, okay? Like the LNH, we'll keep partying, we'll keep doing what we do. We'll, like, you know, the Phil are gonna keep up that side for you anyways. You know, like, I'm just saying that, like, you guys can't handle the sesh. Like, you guys wouldn't like that. Can you imagine if it was eat, sleep, rave, repeat? You do one repeat and you'd be like, oh man, I missed my fucking physics lecture. Oh no, I'm gonna be so upset. Like, I was gonna maybe write down some notes and see if they'd be relevant for prep time. Like, that's the kind of shit you guys do. It's like, in the name of all that is good, in the name of Conor Rock, and for the parish, we pose.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I squeaked. Come on. What next?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would just like to begin with a
brief bit of rebuttal and a point that was made earlier. So it was we heard that like the order like eat, sleep, rave, repeat apparently like isn't feasible because you'll be rolling straight in and skipping breakfast. I would like to point out that eating is cheating. So you know, it would,
This
if
is a
anything, enhance the rave.
demonstration of
But anyway, I
Wirecast.
was really I'm a little bit disappointed because I was hoping that at some point someone might actually like define rave or help me out in some way because as I'm sure you've probably established from my appearance, I love raves. I could do that whole rave thing all day long, all that dancing and drugs and rave stuff. You know, you all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to tell you. We all know what that is anyway. But no, so when I began to write my speech for this, the first thing I did was literally Google rave. And it was very informative. I also Googled the lyrics of Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat because my first instinct told me that that might be important. And I would like to read for you, ladies and gentlemen, a short passage from the song itself. And then this cat walked in, you know, like not like a cat, like
This is a
female
demonstration
cat.
of Wirecast.
Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, dog? Like, and as I read through the song, I find myself thinking, like, yeah, this is all starting to make sense. And after listening to the song roughly like 15 times on repeat, because repeating is important, I came to the realization that, like, it's philosophy, isn't it? This eat, sleep, rave, repeat thing. The message
This is a
at the heart
demonstration of Wirecast.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat is one of hedonism in its purest form. It describes living for pleasure with such simplicity that Oscar Wilde himself could only dream of. It reduces our lives, our humanity, down to three basic things. Eat, sustain your body. Sleep, relax, pause, be still. And rave, to have fun, enjoy yourself,
This
live
is a
life
demonstration
for
of
what it is.
Wirecast.
Carpe diem, that is exactly what this song embodies. And then finally, repeat. Repeating is so important. I can't stress how important. Repeat. Maybe another time. Yeah, always repeat yourself. That is what the song is saying, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, we live in a world that is less than perfect. We have natural disasters. We have ISIS. We have a very, very mediocre government. So
This is a demonstration
there
of
isn't really much
Wirecast.
to live for, basically, except for raving. So what Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat is trying to tell us is everything's shit, so like, life is short, as is my speech, by the way. So you may as well rave. And again, another line from the song, which I think really just sums up what we're being told in this beautiful piece of modern poetry. I don't remember anything. I have vague recollections and like a general feeling of happiness.
This is a demonstration of
And
Wirecast.
ladies and gentlemen, isn't that what we all want in life? Vague recollections and a general feeling of happiness? Thank you very much.
I now call Adam Donnelly.
Oh, fab.
Hello, everybody.
This is a demonstration
My
of
name's Adam.
Wirecast.
Gosh, I must have come to the wrong debate because I don't remember you guys being this handsome. Oh boy. Okay, so my name's Adam. I'm gonna try and be funny, so lock the doors. Is there anybody here from Trinity? Give us a shout. Anybody here from UCD? Boy. Okay. Well, at any rate, it's really nice to be back here in the GMB. I mean, not legally, but still.
This is a
It was
demonstration
an honor
of
to be given the call to
Wirecast.
participate in the colours debate tonight, even though the last one went so horribly that it literally made me colourblind. Everything looks so sexual now that I literally only see in 50 Shades of Grey. So, I didn't realize that we were actually going to argue the motion. I thought we were just going to make fun of each other, but here we go. So, to pad out time, I'm going to recall an anecdote of my friend Lee, who works in a spa in India, the one that got a new deli. No. Actually, no, it wasn't. Sorry, no. It was a spa in Northern Ireland, the one with the special offer where they were giving away free dairy. Anyhow, so I went in. Okay, first of all, I thought this was the PC Society, so why do we have a Mac? Anyway, so I went in to my friend Lee, and it transpired that Lee was not having the best time. He was being bullied by his manager Ian. And so I said to Lee, why are you taking Ian's shit? What's going on here? And then it transpired the reason is because Ian pays Lee. So that's all I have to say on that. So anyway, raving. Well, there's a gentleman over here with face paint, so he's supplying all the raving we need tonight. So eat, sleep, rave, repeat. What a comical argument. I mean, I like the sound of two of those anyway. So I think what we need to do is we need to break down each individual component of this motion in vivid, almost excessive detail before we launch ourselves into a cycle of perpetual raving. So this is but a teaser, and you can buy my step-by-step instructional DVD for $19.99 as to why this is a ridiculous motion. So we're going to start off with eating. Let's think of all the horrible things that can happen to you while eating. Diabetes, not allergies, or just allergies in general. Cannibalism. Veganism.
A demonstration of Wirecast.
Choking, like the proposition, because their arguments suck.
Shame.
Shame. Indigestion is a big one. I remember one time I had indigestion for like 24 hours. Actually, no, that was a collapsed lung, sorry. And let's get real anyway. I mean, it all just kind of comes out eventually anyway, so what's the point? And don't talk to me about being hungry, because Hungary is a country. And do you know what else is a country? The Philippines. You can't spell the Philippines without the Phil. This isn't the Phil. This is a historical society. Do you know what else is historical? 1916. What time is it now? 8:30. Do you know what time it was like an hour and a half ago? 1916. Illuminati confirmed. So now, sleeping. Are you people for real? Do you know what happens when you sleep? Fucking nightmares. I had a nightmare once. I woke up straight away. It was awful. I had a nightmare that I was Shrek and Fiona's marriage counselor. And then a DreamWorks lawyer came in the middle of it with a cease and desist. And then I thought to myself, well, that's not how a dream works. Anyway, so I mean, when you think of like great dreams in history, I mean, Martin Luther King had a dream, and he didn't have to sleep to have it. So like, why do we? I mean, yeah, Martin Luther was a historical figure. Do you know what else is historical? The Historical Society. Illuminati confirmed. And now, raving. Come on, let's get real here. Nobody actually raves, or at least does so sincerely. We kind of stand in the club and take Snapchat selfies to kind of create the illusion that we're having more fun than we actually are. And the music's too loud, so you can never talk. So you're like, and they're like, and you're like, music's great. And that's kind of how it goes. And then we go home, and then our mom says, "How was your night?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's good." To be honest, the only club I'm interested in is a club milk bar. They're delicious. The other clubs that I'm interested in are Everly Gardens. Do you know what else is a garden? The Garden of Eden. Do you know what happened there? Adam and Eve talked to a snake. Do you know what the snake did? It hissed at them. Do you know what sounds like hiss? The Historical Society. Illuminati confirmed. And lastly, don't even get me started on repeating. Don't get me started on repeating. Don't get me started on repeating. Don't get me started on repeating. Okay. Imagine this horrific scenario where Raving is why you rise in the morning. It's why you go to bed at night. You can do nothing but rave, rave, rave. You have no ambitions. Everyone around you grows old and dies, but not you. You will keep raving. You will outlive us all till the last star goes out and there's nothing left
This is
of
a
you.
demonstration
And
of
you will keep raving
Wirecast.
in the dark, alone, forever. And that's why I beg you to oppose this motion.
Weak, man.
Right. Well done, sorry. Well done, man. I now call Peter's go.
Which of you lads are playing Debater Bingo?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Go on. Most of you. Okay, yeah, well, sorry to all of yous. So, Trinity wankers, all yous fans of Nando's, I'm obviously blatantly drunk. I'm not on pills at the moment, so you can all do that. I'll get through the rest of these later. Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. It's a pretty good life motto. It's like,
This is a
I'm not sure that
demonstration
most
of
people
Wirecast.
on this whole thing have ever actually been to a proper rave. Like, honestly, we had some discussions of like scoldy debating socials, and that's not really like what a rave is. If you go out and you're mostly standing around waiting for a tab to come out and you just go home immediately afterwards, that's kind of just sad, not a rave. But like going out, eating, sleeping, rave, repeating, or whatever, it's pretty good. Like,
This
I
is a
suppose
demonstration of
I'm not going to follow
Wirecast.
the general structure of the whole thing. I'm not going to go eat, sleep, rave, repeat, and then just like title those as points. Raving. It's pretty good. It's when you go like one step beyond your usual session. Sessions are great. Sessions are like a lot of fun. But there comes a point in the night where most of the time you decide to go home. But there's those few times where you decide you're just going to go like one step further, and you're like you're standing around. You're like, oh,
This
will
is
we?
a demonstration of
Will
Wirecast.
we go a bit further? And that's the point where you should say yes. Like where you decide that you're going to be just absolutely just wrecked tomorrow, but that doesn't matter. You're just going to keep on going. You're going to take whatever weird pill is in front of you. That's another drink for all you debater bingos. You're going to ditch the Cork IV social and go to some scoldy crack house in the middle of Cork and come home at 7:30 a.m. Jesus Christ, why the fuck did we do that?
This is a demonstration of
But it was actually great.
Wirecast.
It was. Is Dermot here? Dermot can confirm if he was around as well. Great time. Yeah. Like, it's, you can get the best memories of your life out of it. Like, you make friends based on how ridiculous you're being. You wake up in the morning and get a scoldy spice bag at 11:30 a.m. and
This is a demonstration
that's
of
great.
Wirecast.
Like you're repeating, you're going on and on and on, and that's fine. I'm blatantly drunk, by the way. You should all just be downing your drinks right now. That's on the bingo. Like, is this what the men of 1916 died for? I absolutely think it is, because we're talking about Irish freedom, and the most free places in Ireland are the places where you can just walk around and someone will come up to you and be like, hey, do you want any pills? And you can be like, yes, I absolutely do. I want a
This
few more.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's another one. The walk of shame the next day is actually a walk of pride. That's two. And it's not, and like, it's not about Catholics, it's not about proddies, it's not even about Thatcher. It's about carrying on. It's about moving past your underage drinking. That's another one on the bingo. It's about realizing that in your adult life, you have to move past just sculling cans and having a more substantive,
demonstration
more memorable
of
session,
Wirecast.
something different, something exciting. And I think that we can all do better than just vomiting in a pitcher like Captain Chunderbar. That's another one there. That's also the Chunder story, so that's two. And these lads from Belfield IT, sorry, I had to say that because it's on that. I actually think that's a stupid name. But honestly, like, the UCD lads should join us in our Sleep Rave repeating. Like, I think that this could be a moment where we move past old Trinity UCD rivalries and move into a glorious future where we all have a solid fun together. So, yeah. Am I past time?
Just sit down.
You're fine. I have 10
9,
seconds.
8,
Lads,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! That was.
Finally, I call Kevin Roach.
It didn't show, Peter. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Are we having fun yet? I've never seen a more bored shower of people in my entire fucking life, and I'm a law student. Right. Ooh! Wow! Frankie Boyle's younger brother is calling me out. Right. When I first got asked to speak in this debate, I thought, gee, it's a real honor to get to speak to the film.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And then I thought to myself, hang on a minute. The Hiss speak on Wednesday. And then I cried. I even wore the fucking t-shirt. Because the Phil is just a much better society. I mean, you guys have had people like Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. Ice Cube and Kevin Hart are a bit like me and Oscar, since he decided to call me out earlier. I'm really muscly, really cool.
This is
I used to be a gangster
of
rapper.
Wirecast.
And Oscar is shit. But instead we're in the Phil, a bastion of wankery, a bastion of prickery, and a bastion of censorship. This will be my only intro speech. I gave my speech to the Hiss censors rather, and they took all of the jokes out except one. I was like, what do you guys even want in this speech? And they were like, we want something that's really funny, but you can't talk about anything that might offend someone, you can't talk about anything that might be in any way interesting.
Wirecast.
So I came up with one joke, and I hope you all enjoy it. Two antennae on a roof fell in love and decided to get married. The ceremony wasn't great, but the reception was. And then I thought, fuck the Queen, so here's the speech I was going to give. Not only have you insisted us by bringing us to this soon-to-be, or not only have you insulted us by bringing us to this soon-to-be historical society, if the accounts are anything to go by, but you've also given us this ridiculous fucking motion to debate. This house would eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Here's some ideas as to why this might be a bad thing. 1. It's impractical. To rave, you have to be whacked. Your jaw has to swing with as much fervour as Arnold Schwarzenegger's left testicle. Like a pendulum, oh, I'll be back. Oh, shit. You aren't like that at all. Certain things that we shouldn't do. To rave, you have to be like this all the time. I've decided to take loads of yammers and try a load of things and see what it's like. Here's a couple of things you shouldn't do if you're absolutely whacked. Drawing. Oh no, says someone. This way. Have a look. This is my dog, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't even have a dog. You can have that, Oscar, since I'm apparently a school shooter. I'm the shooter of Another thing is ironing. I decided that when I was whacked and I was ironing that I would become Conor McGregor. So I went, ah! and tried to give myself McGregor a tattoo. And now my parents won't speak to me. Also, another reason as to why this might be a bad thing, it affects employability. Because you fail all your exams when you eat, sleep, rave, and repeat. Because you haven't decided to annex off some time for proper academic, best practice.
This is a demonstration
this is
of
where the speech is
Wirecast.
going to get interactive. Okay, I'm going to need some audience participation. So what I want now is everyone to stand up for a minute. Come on, everyone do it. Everyone stand up. Come on, stand up now. I want you to sit down if you don't hear your degree program or any subject that you study. Okay, I'm going to read out a list. Ancient history, so sit down if you don't hear any of these, okay? Or if you have studied them in the past. Civilization, Greek/Latin, you can stay standing because I haven't got to the end of it yet. Acting, ancient medieval history, music, philosophy, Jewish and Islamic studies, hang on a minute, rimming the Queen, and theology. So you're all standing. Have a good look around and wave to each other. Wave to the person next to you and remember their face because you will be seeing them. Now, I didn't interrupt you because you will be seeing them in a dole queue in the next 2 years. Sit.
Oh, wait, we were. Oh, shit. Oh, no. You never told us to sit down.
Sorry. And if you're a fresher, unfortunate. Because you've always been told that you've got so much points in the evening and you've always been told that Trinity is for winners. That's unfortunate. Because you've worked so hard to become an unemployed tossbag who drinks artisan coffee and who's hated by your whole family. Well done. Another reason why you shouldn't eat, sleep, rave, repeat is because you're all shit crack. Right? So, Trinity students at Rave, right? If you go to a rave and you're from UCD, chances are you like techno music, so you get into it, as Peter likes to want to do, right? But the problem with Trinity students at raves is you stand around and you go, God, this music, the Queen won't silence me, I'll keep going. You say, no, this music is shit. Could you play some Radiohead to the DJ? Or, could you play some David Bowie? It's the Bowie, you fucking moron. And also, trying to pull Trinity students, and you won't silence me, trying to pull Trinity students in raves is ridiculous. I mean, if I go up to a Trinity student and try and pull them in a rave, they'll call me a thumb and tell me I'm a fucking idiot. I saw a UCD man pull a UCD girl in Coppers once, which isn't really a rave, but it might as well as be. And he went up to the girl and he said the most outrageously romantic thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. And I was right beside him, so I could definitely hear it, because this man looked like he knew what he was doing. He said, "Will you shift me?" The girl, and the girl was unsure. In fairness, I would also be unsure in this situation. But he leaned into her and he said the most romantic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. He said, "If you shift me, I'll buy you a taco chips." That was the most intimate kiss I've ever seen in my entire life. So because I wish I could one day speak
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And because you're all shit crack, and because eat, sleeping, raving and repeating is probably a terrible idea, we are incredibly happy to oppose.
Well done, Kevin. I will now put the question to the House on the motion that this House would eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Okay.
You can't just shout.
Yeah, it's so unparliamentary.
Nay!
Nay! Up the rack! And something do that. And something do that. Naggin. The naggin. The naggin. No, the nearly empty naggin.
I'm not sure which was carried there.
We were UCD win at life. Give me.
Who's for and against?
I think there's two sides to this debate.
You should know that because you've sat through the whole debate.
UCD are against the rave. Trinity are pro rave.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Shane.
So, round of applause for UCD.
Yay! Who are they? Exactly.
Hands for UCD.
I'm going to put up two hands.
I want the Phil's hands up.
Hands up for UCD.
1, 2, 3.
Do it. You can't even count.
No, they fucking count.
They do fucking count.
Twice. I feel like they're a higher power, to be honest.
23 hands, and then for Trinity.
Ah, you're shit.
Did you? If you don't win in your own fucking society, we deserve an award. Come on. Like, this is your own.
I thought we did pretty well.
Yeah.
I think UCD win at life and at this debate.
The motion is
Denied, not carried! Yo! We win! We fucking win! We win! We win!
Did you count the
We win! Yeah!